You are listening to Second Saga. Today's feature is Little Green Knights by Blevins. Joe was playing in the backyard when he fell into a hole. He rubbed his head and looked up and saw that he was very far down. He tried to climb up again, but there was nothing to hold on to except dirt. He yelled and yelled for someone to come get him, but no one did. Joe examined the hole he was in. There was a tunnel on the side of the hole. It was long and dark and went way back into the earth. A torch was flickering at the other end, and that was as far as Joe could see. He went into the tunnel. It just so happened to be boy-sized. He found out that the torch wasn't at the end of the tunnel. It was just at a bend in the tunnel. Another stretch of dug earth led away to the left. There was a torch at the end of that, too. Joe walked to the second torch and discovered that wasn't the end either. The tunnel turned right and went for quite a while, and then just stopped. There wasn't a torch hanging from that wall. With nowhere else to go and nothing else to do, and having spent quite a lot of effort moving around, Joe went on to the end of the tunnel. As he got nearer to the wall, the one that did not have a torch, he noticed something unusual about it. The wall wasn't made of dirt at all. It only looked like dirt. Joe put his palm against the wall. It was cold and it felt like metal. He put his ear against it and listened. He couldn't hear anything except for his breathing. Then he knocked on it in case it was a door. Joe heard a grinding noise, so he stepped back. The wall rose up and revealed a little man standing holding a spear longer than he was. The man had green skin and he was dressed like a knight. "Are you a boy?" asked the little green knight. "I fell down when I was playing," said Joe. "I didn't know anyone lived down here." "Many people live beneath the surface of the earth," said the knight. "But by and large, we don't care for visitors." "I just want to go home," said Joe. "Is that all?" Of course, Joe wanted to go home sometime, but he was quite curious about the little green knight and the tunnel behind the knight and where it might lead. Still, the knight had said that they did not like visitors, and the point of his spear looked very, very sharp. "Mostly." "Very well," said the little green knight. "You wait here." The wall came down again. Joe waited at the end of the tunnel. He started to worry that the knight was not ever going to come back. But the wall rose up again, and then there were two more knights standing behind the first one. They were carrying one very long ladder. "Lead the way," said the first knight. Joe did. He reached the first turn in the tunnel and looked back to see the knights bending the ladder around the corner as if it was made of rubber. It was so amazing that Joe began to walk backwards. The last knight came around the turn, and then the ladder somehow straightened out. "You're going to run into the wall," said the second knight. Joe spun around again and took the second turn in the tunnel, and then he led the little green knights into the hole he had fallen into. He watched the knights angle the ladder and then push it up the side of the hole until the top rung was just below the edge of the backyard. "Go then," said the third knight. "We have better things to do than wait around for a boy to climb a ladder." Joe thanked the little green knights, and then he climbed the ladder. He would have been afraid of falling off, maybe, but he had already fallen down the hole once, and he hadn't hurt himself that time. At last he pulled himself out onto the backyard. He spread his fingers through the grass, and then he peered over the edge into the hole. The knights were gone, and the ladder was gone too. The bottom of the hole didn't even seem as far down anymore. Joe went inside his house and told his mother and father about what had happened and what he had seen, but the only part they believed in was the part about the hole. They had men come and fill it in with dirt. But sometimes Joe would sit where the hole used to be and wonder if there really was a city of little men beneath the earth, and what it looked like, and if they needed any boy heroes to come save them. This was Little Green Knights by Lee Blevins. Lee lives in Lexington, Kentucky. You can find him on Twitter at Blee7s or visit his sad bare bones website, byleeblevins.com. Check our show notes for links. Music is provided by Mads. Learn more about 600 Second Saga, our authors, how to submit your flash fiction, and how to support the podcast in the show notes. This has been Mariah Avix and 600 Second Saga.